talk, please.
My girlfriend bought me a fidget cube, and if you hear any clicking, that's me fidgeting.
Hey, Matt, I have a somewhat serious question for you. How long have you and I been doing this podcasting together?
I don't know. It feels like really, really long. Like, I can't really remember a time when we weren't doing it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Do you remember the proper way to get your face up to the microphone?
No, I don't.
As we've been doing this for a lifetime now.
Yeah, I don't like your tone.
Hey Matt, if you want to swap, I can.
Okay, wait. How about now? How's that?
Talk again.
I'm talking again.
Yeah, your levels are good.
Okay.
That sounds okay.
But you're gonna have
Alright.
to stay in that position now.
And Dave, I need you to talk now.
But now you got the fidgets, so you good.
I'm playing Joseph Stalin, and my people are not slaves. Thank
Yeah.
you. They were born free.
In fact, that might be the freest.
That means you're playing weak.
But they've got to kill. They got to give all their stuff to each other, don't they?
All right, I got you
I
a beer.
haven't quite reached communism yet.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
monarchy right now. King
Oh,
Stalin.
are you playing like a marathon game? What's going on here?
Just like a quick run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal size map.
I guess it kind of says something about like where I was when I was playing Civ 4, that like it was like an individual game was kind of like I would spend like about 3 hours on it, and then like either win or lose or something like that, and then I would just go on to the next one. Like I think I've probably played Civ 4 probably more than almost any other game, but also
Wow.
like I've definitely beaten a game with every leader.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
I remember when Matt was deep in the grips.
yeah,
Hey, politicians and dignitaries, heads of state,
Thanks.
they all play Civ.
yeah. That's all they do.
I remember playing Civ so hard that the game just broke my computer.
Nice.
I like set it to the longest game with the biggest map, and I think by like the Bronze era, it took maybe 10 minutes for my computer to calculate what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And at
Funny.
that point, I was just living in real time.
Hmm.
It'd be like 20 years till I went to space. You guys hear that I almost died?
How
What'd
did
you
you
do? What
almost
happened?
die?
At 2 in the morning last night, my phone vibrated and politely warned me that there's a tsunami heading my way.
Wait, why did you get the warning?
Because I'm special and Google loves me.
Oh, are you set up for like wuss warnings? Are you set up for all possible warnings? Like,
Real
I'm
pussy shit.
I'm over here like a true hard man saying, "Don't wake me up unless it's a 9."
Yeah.
No, it's the seismographers that I've got drilled into the ground that that warned me.
I don't know.
So Alexa warned you.
There's like no part of my life right now where I would get a tsunami warning at 2 a.m. and not think it was a dream and go back to bed. Like,
Yeah.
I
Got too much weed.
like woke well because we're like right on the water. So I looked at my phone and I'm like, fuck, now I gotta go online and make sure it's not a hoax. And I didn't go to sleep until like 5 a.m.
what floor are you
That
on?
sucks.
We would have been good, but if like the supports of the build, I don't know how strong a tsunami is. What if it grabs one weak ass building and
Well-
then pushes it into ours?
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to take everything I say, literally everything, every word I say, with a number of grains of salt because I don't know anything.
We do.
But I'm fairly certain Vancouver isn't. It's like we're an issue for earthquakes, but we're not an issue for tsunamis as much because if and when something happens, we have that whole Vancouver Island that's going to take all the brunt of that.
About 3 hours after doing research, because their stupid tsunami site is terrible, I was like, oh wait, Vancouver Island is like our tank.
It's like
And
bigger than some countries, isn't it? That
Yep.
stupid island.
The size of Japan.
Big dumb dick-shaped island.
Just
Yeah.
got all the way of aggro. So yeah, I was good. I was like, oh, okay, but then I got no sleep, so I'm super tired.
So Kelly, I'm glad you didn't die.
Yay.
Matt, less so.
The fuck I do. All I'm doing is just using all of your shit, your Men's Health grip strengthener.
You're still not talking into the microphone is what you're not doing.
Fuck, dude.
Put a pillow behind your back.
Oh.
That's for sex. That's the sex thing.
This couch is too small for sex. Probably. I don't know. I don't need to know.
Like there's no I can't give any good answer for that one.
Yeah.
Either I say actually or I say
Actually,
yeah, you're
I
right.
don't have sex is the proper answer because you're not married yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Living in sin.
Also, you're like our dad, and just imagining you having sex
He is in no way like
just
my
terrifies
dad.
me to all end.
My dad's so much
My
stronger.
my dad is strong.
On that note, this is Super Hopped Out, your favorite podcast about horrible visions. I am your host, Chris Norris-Jones, sitting in a completely new studio, a new location.
Live from the trap.
live from whatever we're going to call this place. I have a Kelly Wright
Weird how basement-like this place is.
sitting on a high chair. I have a David Beebe
We're on the 5th floor. It's not like a basement at all.
sitting on a couch. And I also, on the other couch, is one Mr. Matthew Emery.
I actually think it's kind of like an improvement.
You guys don't know improv at all. You're supposed to then just like say that there are chains hanging in the wall
That
and
like
the windows are blacked out.
Should I have answered yes
so
and?
yes, that's the first rule of improv. The second rule of improv is don't say a thing that is like could just be misconstrued as a regular statement.
Did you not hear my story about being tired?
Why not? Why not start like a spaceship? That's an easy improv too.
Oh man, the atmosphere up in the Rockies is so nauseating.
Wow,
Yeah.
this sucks.
This flannel shirt is chafing.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. So how's everyone doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Very good.
Not just hear the tsunami thing. That's the most important thing that happened to me this week.
I was thinking about the tsunami thing, and then also how Hawaii got the missile alerts and all that, and how either our government is really looking out for us, or they don't know what's going on at all.
It's been a good 9 days for false alarms, I suppose. Was the tsunami thing a false alarm, or was it just it's not a big deal?
I think it was
It was a real earthquake.
it wasn't a big enough one to make a tsunami though. I don't think. It was like 8.2 or something that they thought it was.
Sounds awfully big.
And then it was 7.1 or something when they recalculated, which to me still sounds kind of bad, but I'm not an earthquake
That's like
scientist.
10 times as small.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
What?
Mr. Science over here knows something about.
That's like literally how it works. Like that's not a science.
Wait,
thing.
is it
That's-
exponential?
Yes.
Oh.
It's base 10.
Well, I'm going to call you Dr. Seismic now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a solid B-film horror, or a B-film supervillain right there.
It's
Dr. Seismic?
probably a Silver Age DC comic. Come on.
I'm
Or-
actually
or
surprised.
villain.
Well, I would have said that, but you would have fucking piped in anyways. And been, well, actually, it's
Well,
Dr. Seismograph.
you're
So I didn't want to do that.
It's Professor Seismic.
Yeah.
He teaches and then
He's
he
tenured.
What I really hate that the SJWs at DC have done is they've turned Professor Seismograph into a woman. Like it really cheeses me off.
He was,
You're right.
he was, he had traditional masculine male values. What happened to all the good male role models for the kids these
It
days?
really throws off the arc where his wife died from an earthquake, which is ironic because it sounds like his powers are probably earthquake related
Yeah.
or
Maybe he has
adjacent.
like I don't know, like a stylus or something.
Well, I mean, maybe they kind of had to, because they had that whole like weird edgy arc in the 90s when it turned out that she actually got pushed by Dr. Seismograph because he was a raging alcoholic.
Ooh, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was for the best they kind of just like flipped the script on that.
Why can't they fridge wives in comics anymore?
I don't know. I don't know how to even answer that. I don't know.
Well, I'm happy to announce my new comic line. It's called Trad Comics.
Yeah. Oh, that shit exists, dude.
Does it?
What
Fuck.
is that called? Like I think it's like Rebel Girl is like the
I have seen that that illustration of like a Stars and Bars themed superheroine.
Oh,
right,
is this
and
just
the
like-
artist can't draw hands, and he's really like
He's fucking terrible at drawing
really
hands.
angry
Yeah,
okay.
he gave her the biggest, like, grossest, dirty gorilla knuckles. Man, like it was pretty bad.
Well, I feel like we can't bite on this too hard because I actually know more than one other podcast that's done this topic before, but there is something very special about right-wing based comics.
Yeah.
Like cartoons and comics and online stuff that, like, if you ever go down that path, I'm not going to suggest any specifics because I don't want to, but it's a pretty beautiful scene. So I got nothing for today. I don't know. All I've been doing the last week is moving out from the old place into the new place, which if you guys look around, it's a pretty nice apartment.
It is
It looks pretty nice. You can tell that I am also living with a woman who has some modicum of taste.
Yeah, there's nice
Bragging.
decorations and stuff.
Yeah, I would say it's a woman's touch, but it's actually just the touch of a living, breathing, real person.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to what?
Whatever.
What was the old place? What was wrong
And
with the old
as an
place?
uncaring automaton that I could just like unleash all my fury on.
I mean, in this day and age, you can kind of just Google ideas for a home and then do it. You don't have to like subscribe to a magazine anymore.
Case in point, turns out you can frame your posters, guys.
What?
What?
If you have posters of video game art that you really, really like, but apparently it's really just gauche as all fuck to just thumbtack those to the wall, you can put them in frames.
Sure, if you have money.
That's a free tip right there.
But then you don't get to roll them up and wrinkle them and tear the corners.
Yeah.
It's a good apartment. I like this apartment. I got big plans with this apartment. Speaking of big plans, Matt, What are you doing these days? What are your big plans? You plan anything?
Are you not going to talk about the beer?
I guess I should do that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, what are your big plans about talking about this beer?
My big plans are to tell about the beer that I got from the liquor store. So actually, there's a bit of a story behind this, in that this is not my first time with Kozel. This is Kozel Premium Blonde. Kozel is
Sounds hot.
Remember what I said before when I don't actually know anything, but this is me pretending to know something. Kozel is made from the Czech Republic, and it's like one of their... It's very much like one of the national brands of beers, in that if you ever go to the Czech Republic and you go into any like corner store, bar, restaurant, anywhere, literally anywhere in the Czech Republic, they're selling this for like 85 cents. So it's pretty good. I remember when I was there a couple of years back, and basically getting addicted to their Kozel Black, which I can't find anywhere around here. But anytime I come and I see one of these things, and I saw a bunch of tall cans at the BCL, I thought it'd be a good thing to share with all of you.
It is pretty tasty.
Considering it's like dirt cheap, no matter where you go. Like this was like $1.80 a can, for a tall can, not even just like a regular. This is a big boy can. Kozel usually does pretty well. I really like how they taste. It's very drinkable. This is a blonde. It's a bit like, not sour. It's a bit malty for a blonde that you'd normally get, but I think it's just because this is still like cheap beer.
Yeah, it's almost caramelly a bit, which is kind of weird, but not too light, actually. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's got just enough flavor, but also the drinkability to it. It's a very continental Belgian exclusionary beer.
Yeah, you kind of get that hints of like that like cheap beer lager taste that where it sort of tastes like wheat and water, but there's a bit more going on. I don't know.
But yeah,
there's a sweetness to it. Like there's a taste there that makes you think that like this might actually be more than just like a basic European ass beer.
Yeah, and I mean even low grade beer in Europe I think is still pretty tasty overall. Even if maybe it's just because we're not used to it, or it's still maybe they do it better over there. I don't know.
Probably that one.
Oh yeah, you think tradition has something to do with it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It all comes from that one law of 1516 that says that you are not allowed to come inside of the beer. That's all it
exactly
says.
what that law was.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a real law?
Yeah.
Too many Bavarian peasants just jacking off into the beer.
Well,
They thought it gave them superpowers.
Well,
they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
That's a forbidden recipe.
Fun fact: Germany hasn't won a war since.
Yeah.
But virility just gets wasted.
I also like the fact that the mascot on it is Black Phillip from The Witch.
Just say it's very like Abe Lincoln looking beer. I mean goat.
Yeah, it kind of did look like a goat.
Man, that goat should have stayed a goat. I know The Witch is kind of old by now, but that movie got stupid the moment he turned into fucking like
You're
Jack
literally the
Sparrow.
only person who holds that opinion on this podcast. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all love we're all witch stands here.
Yeah.
So
That's stupid. That movie.
we ride or die with the witch.
Yeah.
That movie was good until that point when it was just a murderous goat that may or may not be the
you're a
devil.
bitch.
Yeah, what do you got against satanic pirates? What's your problem?
It went against the entire like aesthetic of that movie.
Hell no.
That's you.
It was like a dirty, like I don't know, peasant-looking movie, and then suddenly this fabulous pirate pops up.
Exactly. That man was a fancy ass rich man. He could give her something doth delicious upon to taste. Or
And
whatever the fuck the
everything
line
in that
was.
movie is things changing shape or form, or not appearing as they appear to be, or not being what they appear to be.
Maybe I just didn't like the fact that it looked like Blackbeard, and it could have been anything other than Blackbeard.
Kelly, if you've been living your entire life as a pig farmer and all you know is pig farming and pig farms and dirt, and all of a sudden a man comes and he is fucking fabulous and he says, "Come with me to Fabuland," you're gonna take it. That's how Satan gets
Yeah,
you.
you are going to go on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's how it starts.
What if RuPaul wasn't the witch?
Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah. I mean, you could add RuPaul to any movie and it should make it better.
It
but-
would be an advantage. This is true.
Damn, it's true.
I like this beer. I'm into it. I would
Thank you.
I would buy a 4-pack of this and then drink them at a party.
It's very good.
Thank you, Norris.
Thank you.
They're all
Did you
welcome.
drink all my whiskey?
No. I
Oh.
think I might have like given a glass of it to somebody, but it's still more than half full in my little drink closet. I'll hand it back to you when we're done here.
Okay.
All right, Matt. Now you've talked. How are you doing? You playing any games these days?
No.
Okay.
Okay, hard pass.
Sounds good.
Well, the HGDQ happened.
Oh yeah, I actually missed like everything this session.
It
Not
was
too bad.
surprisingly good. There's a lot of thrills and spills, etc.
Can you give me some favorites? Something I can go and watch upon a free moment?
I believe his name is the Mexican Runner. He did the Turbo Tunnels episode level of Battletoads blindfolded,
Jesus.
which is kind of awesome. The Bloodborne speedrun looks crazy and good.
What time do they get on that one? Do you know?
It's like an hour or something.
Damn,
Jeez.
that's pretty good.
I'm interested
Yeah.
to see what the new like strategy for that is since it got patched.
Yeah, well, it's really crazy, and like some of the shit like just doesn't work, and he has to like change up on the fly, which is cool.
Mhm.
So you get to see how good he really is.
I think I ask this literally every time one of these things goes on. Do they have a cringe compilation yet?
Yeah, I think I saw one going around.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
I didn't see anything like too cringy.
Damn it.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
my favorite part is
they've I'm not gonna say they've professionalized, but they've certainly gotten something more of like a veneer of respectability amongst like all of the runners to make sure that there's like don't scream at each other, don't be weird, don't throw poop at each other in the background, don't do the dumb shit that you do on your own streams. Be adults here, and it seems more or less to be working out.
I think I respect the speedrunners of HDQ more than policemen, firefighters,
Yeah, I'll agree.
ambulance drivers combined.
Yeah.
Ambulance drivers get paid nothing, and I feel like that's a more or less a
They
volunteer
raised
position.
$2.2 million for charity, and all we can do is just like, hey, look, this autistic man made a fart noise. Yeah. Think about it.
I often do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd respect the amount of money that they bring in, but it doesn't mean that I can't watch and enjoy a lot of the cringy things that they do now that the camera's watching them.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's not a zoo, but it feels a little bit like it sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to gawk at the nerds. I'm only like a degree separated from those folk. You know, I could easily
if you
be
wanna,
that.
if you want to see like a path not taken, I suggest that you watch the Bubsy 2 speedrun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, where this guy, he gets really close to actually the record. I think he's like 9 seconds off.
Is
But-
he the Bubsy 2 guy? Like
Well, there were more than one on the couch.
Okay, well, because there is only one Bubsy 3D man, and that
3DS
guy,
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
he was
that's the guy
not
that-
ukulele. No, but he had a similar kind of cadence to him. So if that's your game, Kelly,
Bubsy 3D?
yeah. Well, Bubsy 2.
Oh.
all Bubsies are the same, really.
Yeah.
Why does Bubsy appeal to people on the spectrum?
Because he's wisecracking. And there's a slider for how wisecracking he can be in Bubsy 3D.
I guess it's just anything. It's just a character. It's just a mascot cartoon they can kind of latch onto, right? I mean,
Is that a real thing? Does Bubsy 3D have a wisecracking slider?
Yeah.
No, it's the new one that does.
Wait, is the new one not 3D?
No.
Oh, no, it's Woolly Whipple.
Yeah,
whatever.
Revenge
Yeah.
of the Woolies something.
Yes.
Revenge of the Woolies, I believe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's a horrible game.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Wait, then is Bubsy 3D the one that I played as a child?
that was the original PlayStation. It might
Oh, never mind.
it might be the worst looking game I think you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it was like early 3D.
Yeah.
It was basically released at the exact same time as Mario 64 and just kind of served as an object lesson in that like, oh, you can really fuck this up.
Yeah, you can really
It was-
do this not so well.
A real Goofus and Gallus type scenario.
Okay.
My understanding as someone who deeply cares about the history of Bubsy is that so the first one was a passion project, and then that guy left, and then all the people after him just like hated Bubsy, so they were intentionally shitty about it, and like all of the games after the original Bubsy were kind of just like completely passionless, and it shows.
I mean, the original Bubsy was also terrible. I'm going to tell you guys all my story about Bubsy.
Oh, great.
Uh-huh.
It's not really a story so much as a poor anecdote. I remember renting that game when I was a kid and spending, I think, 4 or 5 hours getting through a good portion. I don't say I beat it, but I got like in deep in that game. And I didn't realize until near the end that for whatever reason, they had it set up so if you press start and select at the same time playing Bubsy, it restarts the game.
Nice.
So that was a thing that I learned as a small child, that sometimes you don't get what you want. Heaven isn't
It's a
real
lesson
and
about
nothing is
failure.
good. Yeah, it was a lesson about like don't trust anything. Don't trust authority. That was my first time realizing that you shouldn't trust authority.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense for your trajectory in life.
Yeah.
Here's what I've learned is that basically since growing up, all of my idols are dead. Spyro, gone.
Spyro's like an alt-right fucking figure now.
Croc, nowhere to be seen.
Grok's
See,
dead.
but the
Gex entered the gecko.
Gex died of a fentanyl overdose.
the people that you thought weren't your idols are now getting woke. So Kratos has a son, and he's probably going to be like teaching him to grow up.
There's
So he's
nothing
turned
more
a new
woke than
leaf.
having a son.
But he's going to teach him to respect women and not repeat the sins of the father.
That would be incredibly funny.
That would be.
That would be so good.
There's been a little like cross chat already in a Discord, which we'll talk about later. But I like the idea of like of like now son.
Look, when you're in a jacuzzi with two hot babes,
Make sure they want to be there. Don't do anything that makes them feel uncomfortable, son. And when you rip off goddess's head, make sure you dispose of it. I don't know. I made a lot of mistakes when I was high as a child, son. You gotta do better than me.
Now, son, when you're in a room with the wife of Hephaestus, the forge god, the thing you need to do is first you need to make consent before you cuckold that man in front of him. That's the first thing that you need to do. Yeah, dude, God of War 2, fucking wild.
Yeah.
all for the love of orbs.
Orbs.
I hope there's a Last of Us Winter section in that game where you just play as the sun and Kratos is for whatever reason incapacitated, and like you try to open a chest by like ripping it open like your dad and you just utterly fail.
That game looks impressive, but it seems to be taking itself quite seriously so far.
Oh, I'm really excited for that.
It looks way too much like The Last of Us. It seems like someone was like, what if we took Kratos and tried to make him Joel from Last of Us and make him serious and not a fucking painted white ghost god anger man.
Well, what was that game that came out last year that has a really bad name and it had a lot to do with PTSD? Like something
Hellblade?
Hellblade, that's it.
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, is what it's called.
Ugh. It looks exactly like that. It looks like it plays like Hellblade, which is a little bit weird.
Well, I mean, like Hellblade is done by Ninja Theory. The guys have done a lot of games like that, aping a lot of like God of War-esque type button hit 'em up kind of action 3D games.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe that's why. They probably shared teams. I don't know. Just looks very similar. It makes me think of it every time I see it. I'm like, hey, it's Heckblade.
So guys,
What's up, Dave?
Dragon Ball is not out for another week.
Oh, yeah. Well,
4 days.
as of recording, actually, as of release, it's out today. As of recording, it's out in 3 days.
Yeah, as of release, I've already overdosed on Monster Hunter World as well. So
Oh, yeah. Like
I'm gonna miss you guys. You know what?
No, first of all, no, you're not. Second of all, Kelly, like it's been really nice knowing you, and I really, really hope that we don't get a frantic call from Shar sometime in the next week saying Kelly has literally not moved or blinked in like the last 72 hours.
I mean, I'll be coming to the recordings, but I'll also be imagining what your armor sets would look like if I killed you and ripped off your skin and made a helmet out of it.
And harvested our parts.
And fed some of those chunks to my pet pig that they're patching in on day one.
I gotta be honest, Kelly, and I know we did a little like fun of the beta and all that. I don't really get this game or the appeal.
That's good. Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
You ever played Cabela's Big Game Hunter?
That's an even more obscure game or series.
You
What
ever
are you
played
talking about?
you ever gone to a bar and gotten really drunk and then put $1 into the shoot thing and then shot deer?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's basically that, only like real Big Game Hunter.
But imagine if every time you killed a deer, you got closer to making deer armor.
Uh-huh.
You got lucky, though. You basically took a line and you're like, Coke, not for me.
Yeah. That happens sometimes.
I feel like you would lose a lot being on a console in some ways, because at least you can't even do like the quick things like when you're running portable or whatever, right? Like
No, you just don't leave your house.
oh, that's it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Last time I
I
played
don't think you understand how this works.
Yeah. I went to PAX when I was playing Monster Hunter, and the entire trip we were playing Monster Hunter. Now imagine if we didn't go to PAX and we just stayed at my house and played Monster Hunter.
Imagine all the money you would have saved.
Exactly. I'm not moving. I don't have to fuel myself. No food. I'm good.
This is good.
Can we
That's
loop
good.
back around to like wearing us? Just a quick second, because like I'm imagining wearing Norris's skin, and then like all I can imagine is just me going around and saying like I'm a big gay idiot.
You know, Matt, you think it's real easy to say these things, okay?
Yeah.
Just wearing Norris's skin mask and just being like, I love ska.
It's real easy to just idly talk out your Buffalo Bill fantasies.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Pick it up,
Words
pick it up, pick it up.
Words hurt, okay? They have meaning, and I'm a sensitive soul.
Actually, that's true. If you carved Norris, you'd be able to make a hunting horn, and it would just play ska.
That'd be awesome. That part I thought was kind of novel in Monster Hunter. Or you can have like a giant club that's also a flute. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, dog.
Cool.
Like also a didgeridoo, I guess.
I think they'll probably have it, but there was one creature that you could kill and make a hunting horn, and it was just a coffin guitar. So it was just a giant coffin with strings on it, and then you would smack.
Do you kill Rob Zombie?
Basically.
That sounds like something you'd see in a wrestling match.
You basically turn into what's his name? The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Yeah. Pretty dope. I'm sorry, we completely derailed anything you were talking about.
What rail? We have nothing.
All I was gonna say is they revealed the last Dragon Ball character, which is Android 21, who's also a Majin, who also has a Frieza tail. I don't know. They put
I don't know what half those words were. Can we roll that tape
ask.
back a second?
Okay.
Oh, we're not going to ask. I'm not the person to really ask about Dragon Ball lore. Bill is more into
Bill
that.
will get
Mike is
angry with us.
Did all the things you say mean that she is now the new internet waifu? Because over the last 24 hours, that is what I've learned.
She is definitely taking over waifu stuff. Because I'm a big fan of the subreddit Kappa, which is just like
a bad place.
Why?
Just a bad place.
Yeah, it's just fighting game trolling, and then the other half is porn. It's a pretty good combo, honestly.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
It's
two great tastes that go great together, eh, Dave?
With Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Well, you just kind of flip between that, and like sometimes you don't even know what you're looking for. But
I'll know it when I see it.
yeah, they were quite pleased with her. Our bro Mothman made a pretty cool picture of her.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I was following his progress for that. It looks really good.
No, she looks pretty cool. It's for a new character, pretty novel. But since Dragon Ball's not out yet, I've just been fucking around with other stuff. I was big back into Valkyria Chronicles, which is an ongoing thing.
You won the war yet?
Yeah.
That is a tactical RPG.
Yes.
Correct?
It's a tactics RPG. I like you never played it though, right, Matt?
I never played it.
Yeah, it's probably right up your alley. Like you
It seems extremely up my alley, right up to the point where it's like, these anime girls are fighting World War II.
Yes. That part is awkward.
Matt, you've watched worse anime than that. Don't fucking lie to me.
I was literally watching anime girls are fighting World War II anime maybe a week ago.
Yeah, so you have no leg to stand on this one.
Saga of Tanya the Evil. It was actually so bad that I had to stop watching.
Oh wow.
Which is like incredible for me.
That speaks to you a fair bit.
You guys haven't checked out Devil Man Crybaby yet on Netflix?
Hello.
Watch the first episode at least.
Is it actually good?
The animation is very good. I don't know if the story is going anywhere, honestly, but the animation is quite good.
I've heard there's some shit in that. I've heard things happen.
It's kind of like the very first episode is kind of like the very last episode of Berserk. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, like I remember reading somewhere being like people were just saying like, "What's new on Netflix?" And the article was like, "This probably isn't for everybody," and it used the word sexual demon violence.
Oh, that's
Okay.
That's my favorite genre of music.
Yeah,
I know. Dave, we know.
Yeah, thank you.
I heard that Castlevania got confirmed for a second season.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Not unexpected, but good, deserved.
Seems like Netflix is going hard on the anime.
I
Trying to
feel
get
like
that Crunchyroll money.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that's probably it. There's a lot of competition from streaming services otherwise. But yeah, maybe also is it expensive to produce anime?
I mean,
Yes.
animation is pretty expensive.
But now
Good,
with
good anime, yes.
now with computers.
You can't just film actors; you have to draw them.
No, but computers do that for us now,
Dave,
don't
you can't just like put your face up to the keyboard and go, "Computer, make me anime." Like it still takes a fair bit of work. There's still a lot to it.
You just draw 2 frames, and then the computer lerps between them using AI, right?
Yeah, no, but you still have to pay someone with cat ears on to, I don't know, draw in a cell or something
To maintain the bots.
to increase the bra size of your secondary character.
And you have to keep like the same 12 voice actors in Japan and work, right? So
Yeah.
By the way, Android 21 looks like a librarian.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
have you seen that's
No, you're looking at the one with glasses, and that was requested by someone so that they could jerk off to her.
look
Okay.
up either
I'm
Matt.
on the Dragon Ball wiki, and that's their main picture.
That's
so-
exactly what it is
So-
for. Yes.
Yeah, but she's the boss character, so she has a different form, as many characters do in Dragon Ball.
What's
you're looking
What's
at-
this form called? The super no good go librarian form?
Wait, I know what happened. She's got the
Great stuff, Norris.
I'm doing my best over here.
She's got the non-pink version, which does look like a librarian.
You want the pink version?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, the sexy boo.
And then they made the pink version, and then someone asked to put the glasses back on that version to complete the ensemble. I don't know.
She turns her opponents into donuts and tarts and sweet treats, and then eats them.
Oh,
that makes sense.
That explains the pictures of the like gooey bits of those snacks falling on her.
My favorite part is if the super attack kills the character, she just swallows them whole, and if she doesn't,
that's vor.
Well, yes, but if she doesn't, she just like eats the one half and then chucks the other half away like it's gross. Which is pretty cool.
I just realized that like there are potentially people who like the very first thing they ever jerked off to was Dragon Ball Z, and they're still jerking off to it now.
Yeah, it's a brave new world.
That's like an institution.
I have
feel
one
like
question.
There's at least like one or two people in this room who could probably be fucking people that have done that. Let's be honest here.
Norris, are you volunteering as tribute?
And I am not outing myself on that one.
You know,
one of two people.
One or two.
I'm not talking about Dragon Ball Z.
I never watched Dragon Ball Z growing up.
I think this is like my whole has the whole world gone insane moment where I'm like, am I the only person who hasn't jerked off to cartoons in this room?
Wait, in that case, yes. So the answer to that question.
Also, Dave, fucking bullshit.
What? No, I can't.
It can't be true.
It can't be true. No.
I only jerk off to Nordic sagas. That's what you're always saying, right?
That's pretty much what I always say. Yeah.
This is cool. This is a cool conversation.
So once I beat Valkyria Chronicles and I unlocked a bunch of characters and shit, whatever, I booted up something on the PC.
Hello.
A little game called Civilization Quattro.
Nice.
That is the English translation.
Oh my god. OG.
So
I guess not OG.
It's 1908. I've just Joseph Stalin has just completed his long campaign. Long campaign against the Persians. I like how I can build airships, zeppelins, and bomb Persians with them. It's pretty good. Yeah, good game. Great game. You guys heard of this game?
Oh my god.
I feel you could ask literally any question and Matt would know the answer.
I want to see how much I remember about this game because I feel like it's been seared into my brain.
What are the strategies that are viable besides combat, or are there any?
So it depends on what level that you're playing at. So if you are playing on like a level that's immortal or higher, you pretty much have to do an early game victory against like your nearest neighbor.
Okay.
Right, in order to get enough room to do like a peaceful victory, like space. But I think you have viable strategies up to Emperor to actually just be doing, say, space race. But it involves like a lot of sneaky trade stuff. Cultural victories are always a lot harder because you have to get three separate cities up to the point of being like great cities, and I always found that incredibly difficult. But in general, it's usually easier to be really aggressive, especially at the start, and then use that advantage in order to bring you into the modern era.
I like that. And I guess maybe also like Civ 4 focuses on religion more than the other Civs, and it feels kind of like a game within a game in a way. So you can build the first person to research certain scientific discoveries also found certain religions, but there's no limit as to what the state religion is in your home civilization. You can have multiple religions started there as well. But then also you're rewarded somewhat for spreading it to other cities and civilizations. So like is that a victory strategy, or is it like something else that provides
here's a real dick move that you can do. So you get like an early religion, let's say like Judaism, you get Masonry or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you haven't declared like a state religion or anything like that. What you do is you look for like a religious zealot, like maybe you have like Isabella from Spain or something like that, and then you infect like a secular nation with the one missionary that you earn from founding the religion, right? So then Isabella immediately will start attacking on that other person just because of the religious element. So that's the way that you normally would do something like that, unless if you found like a shrine or whatever. But I was never really a big shrine guy.
I was always upset when I would play with friends and we would do a really long game and we didn't work together, and they were trying to beat me at this game.
Wow.
Because I just wanted to create a peaceful world where we all work together.
Yeah. You're living in a fantasy.
Does Civ 4 still have Civ by email?
Yeah, it did.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
Wait,
That-
really?
That
Yeah.
rules.
Holy shit.
It is a pretty old game.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine there being a small but loud contingent of like old grognards who play that game the same way they probably played Civ 1 and Civ 2, in that they just want to play by correspondence with their Russian pen pals.
If I can't play this through Outlook, I'm not playing it.
Yeah, I believe you could go to Civ Fanatics and find someone who would do that.
Another question for you, Matt. Are most of the Civ games in the era of DLC like not really good until all the DLC is out?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's basically been the pattern since like 4. So
since 4. Yeah, I
yeah.
figured.
I hear that 5 is good now, but I never got into it in the same way that I got into 4.
yeah,
So
yeah.
uh,
I still have the vanilla version of like 5, and I was trying to figure out which one to install. And like, I'm not crazy about a hex map. It's like a little
yeah,
odd, and then
It's a bullshit shape.
you can't stack units, which I also think is bullshit.
Yeah.
So
The shape of the future, you shut your face.
there's some lovely things to be said about the hexagon. The real problem is not being able to stack.
mhm.
Like, because if you play on a high difficulty, which is like how I would play it, is eventually you just get to a point where every single hex is covered by an enemy,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, well, I can't really do anything except for just fight forever.
I can't make dudes because they can't go on top of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys all must have seen that article that came out, what was it, like 3-4 years ago, about a guy who had been playing one Civ 2 match for like 5-6 years.
And
Yeah.
there had like originated
And it-
like
And it had turned into the exact setting of 1984,
Mhm.
and that there are 3 giant supercontinents that are perpetually and endlessly at this unending stalemate, this giant machine of blood and bone and gore, like with constant nukes going on and like everyone dying, but really just like everyone's got such an intractability that no one could ever win. It was beautiful.
That sounds
It
fun.
was fucking cool.
It like, yeah, I mean, it got popular online. I heard people were like writing fanfic about it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right,
I think
in
he
the
also
setting.
he made the like his save file public, so people were fucking with it as well, and there was a lot of let's plays on it.
What that story always reminds me of is another story that I heard about Quake, and I never could quite figure out if this was a true story or not. But this is like, I think back in the Something Awful days, there was one guy who claimed that he had some kind of like complicated AI or some kind of like machine learning thing he had built to play Quake, and he had just left it running for like an absurd amount of time, like years or whatever. And he came back, and apparently he said that like the AIs were no longer like fighting each other because they had reached that kind of like war games like idea that like,
only
oh
way-
well, the only way for us to win is not is for us
Yeah.
not to fight each other.
As a programmer, I have a feeling that was less the AI coming to some sort of peaceful recognition and more that they ran out of memory and decided not to run any routines anymore.
He
Yeah.
claims that he went back into the game, and the moment that he attacked one of the still like things, it like they all attacked him simultaneously. Which
Oh.
again, it's so absurd. I don't even know why I'm telling you, but like,
Yeah, I don't think that's real. Like there's currently, I think it's called Vizzy Doom or something like that. There's a challenge right now to get a Doom bot that actually like plays well.
oh, okay,
There's like pre-programmed shit, but like, yeah.
Dave, this sounds like creepypasta to me.
I guess so. Yeah,
And then he looked back and he was the Quake man.
He was the Sonic.
And Sonic 2 was chasing him, and Tails had the blood red eyes.
Yeah.
And his dead brother was in the game and he was out in the water drowning.
My personal favorite like stories of like someone has been playing this game way too much is like SimCity 4, where there was a guy who like made the perfect city, and like he wrote like a blog post about the philosophy of the city.
That guy's done that for multiple games.
Yes.
It's not just SimCity 4. I know
Yeah,
exactly what
it's
you're
awesome.
talking about.
I think it's Magna Mundi or something like that.
Yeah.
And like he wrote about like totalitarian Buddhism, where everyone has to like sacrifice in order to make the perfect city.
Yeah, basically he's just like, I figured out a system to get everyone in this perfect conveyor belt of their life in this confined area for maximum output and enough police presence, because that's the best way to do it, so that no one ever acts out, and it's the perfect situation and it's the perfect city. Nothing will ever break it, and it's all based on some sort of like crypto Buddhist fascism style belief system.
I'm a crypto Buddhist fascist now. I've been converted.
It doesn't take you much, I know.
I learned something about The Sims recently that I can't believe I never thought of ever in my life.
What?
Someone was talking about how to get money without cheating. Apparently, the best way to do it is just to marry one of the goths and then have them die, and you inherit the house that they live in, and you're good to go.
Oh. I thought you were going to talk about the house goblin.
The house goblin?
You haven't heard about the house goblin?
That's the one that lives in the wall and paints and sells the paintings?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
not that way.
Sims rules. Do you guys know that there are contingent of speedrunners playing The Sims and trying to speedrun getting their kid taken away
I
the
do.
fastest?
Wait, there's
Yeah,
there's
oh,
an
that's
end,
funny. That's good.
there's an end game state in The Sims.
No. The end game for this specific
It's
style of
Child
speedrun
Protective Services.
is it's yeah. I think it's like you start. I don't know if you start single or you start with a husband, but the goal is to have a kid as fast as possible and have that kid taken away by child services.
I think there's two variants. I mean, I think there's several variants, but I think there's one that you're single and one that you're not single. And the single one is fun because you get to watch them like speed date and then immediately start having sex, have a baby, and then do their best to like get that baby to get taken away.
Well, what triggers it though? Like, what do you have to do to make the baby get
Just
taken
severe
away?
negligence. I don't know the details.
Wow.
You just sleep a lot and don't answer any of its cries.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, that's-
I'm guessing what you have to do is like not feed it, and it's like instead of killing the kid, it just like
So,
Yeah.
so just actual neglectful parent
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like in real life.
Jesus
But
Christ.
if you go to sleep, the time passes quicker. But you need to make sure that your husband goes away, or else it won't do the
Also, that
time.
coward isn't part of the plan.
Exactly. He can't watch you try to kill your baby.
This is so dark.
It's exciting. It's exciting new revelations in gameplay.
15 and a half minutes.
Yeah, it's great. I watched it.
So Matt, did you beat all difficulties on Civ 4 when you were in the grips back in the day?
Yeah, but not with all win conditions.
Okay.
So I've beaten a deity game, but like I kind of topped out where I could reliably beat on Emperor level, which I think is 3 down.
Okay.
Still really good, yeah.
But like,
How many difficulties are there in Civ?
I think there's something like 12 or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it just kind of sounds like it's sliding scale.
Like the thing is, like at high levels, it becomes almost like an entirely different game because it's about like abusing the AI in order to get what you want.
Hmm.
So
'Cause-
getting into like really favorable trade deals and stuff like that, and
Like real
convincing-
life.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's because you almost need to do that because if I remember correctly, at least in Civ 4, the way they up difficulty isn't by any sort of like more intelligent AI. It's just they give the computers more shit.
Yes, and they start with better technology, and they always have better technology
Yeah.
and more money. And they start out with I think an additional settler after Immortal, which
That's
is
cool.
the second highest one, and then like there's a lot of stuff.
Cool game.
It's,
Pretty
it's
cool
a
game.
great game. It's a beautiful game. I can never play that game again.
If you had to pick a favorite civilization or play style or something like that, what would you say?
Darius of Persia is extremely good.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember exactly what his stats were, but the Immortals of Persia are like insanely strong. And yeah, who else was I? Oh, the Ultimate Cheese guy is the Incan guy, Anya Kupek,
Okay.
because he replaces. He got the warriors, which are like the first units that you get, are extra strong against archers.
Oh okay.
So because basically everyone starts with archery, like at a higher difficulty, I think at Emperor or above, you just totally spam a bunch of warriors and take over the guy next to you, and there's
Perfect.
nothing they can do about it.
That's awesome.
So he was pretty much always banned in like multiplayer games.
Oh really?
Yeah,
In competitive Civ.
in competitive Civ. Yeah,
Does that exist? Please
Yeah.
tell me
It
there's
has
still.
to exist.
Well, I mean, like it has to exist somewhere, but I want to like know that there's a website dedicated to highest level Civ 4 play right now.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not sure if they're still playing Civ 4. They're probably playing Civ 6 or something. But yeah, there was definitely a thing where you do multiplayer
I've
massive wars.
I haven't seen anything in Civ 6 to really draw me in yet.
Same.
Like, it looks very similar to 5. That's the most I'll say, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really haven't heard much about it.
No,
I mean,
never
it's
mind.
been out for a couple months now.
Well, I feel like unless you're really, really into it, the Civ games they pull for like the first release. They pull for like maybe like a month, and then they kind of just go dark unless you're super into that type of shit.
Do I sound like I'm not super into Civ?
But no, like you are, but like you're like you are so far off like the fucking drug track now that
Yeah.
like you're someone who's just like, don't talk to me about fucking civilization. I am better now. So I imagine if you ever saw something with the word civilization on it on a website, you would just instinctively click off of it.
But we got that new heroin.
Yeah. The thing is, like, the first Civ that you get into is it's like Mario Kart, where it's like that's your game.
Yeah.
So like, it sounds like was Civ 4 your first?
Civ 3 was my first, but it hasn't aged as well.
Yeah.
So I switched to 4.
I don't know. Civ 2 peaked for me when I was like playing it at the age of 9 and cheating and just nuking everyone and having them get really mad at me, which was really funny as a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Kind of all downhill from there. Kelly, you actually played a game recently that might be a thing worth talking about.
I played one of those games what haven't come out yet.
What?
Yeah, a
Hello.
beta.
How can you play a game that hasn't come out yet?
Magic. My uncle at Konami,
Konami.
Your uncle at Konami pissed off his boss, and now he's a janitor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I played the Metal Gear Survive beta over the weekend, which
How'd that?
look, so none of us were expecting much from it, right? We were all kind of like, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's another Metal Gear game.
Yeah,
But
it's not Kojima. It's post Pachinko. It's like using the MGS5 engine.
That's why I was kind of excited. It's a dope engine.
But it's like doing a survival thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you were excited about it, then good news. It's actually pretty fun.
Oh, good.
They added I thought it was just going to be the mechanics of MGS5 slapped into a survival game, but it looks like they've actually made quite a few changes to support that. There's like a skill tree now, and like melee is viable and actually kind of fun, and there's like different tiers of melee. It looked like there were different classes as well, but I never unlocked one. I only played like 3 games.
I imagine with a sort of survival style game, be it, I don't know, Minecraft meets Rust or whatever the hell they're trying to go for, like melee must be a thing they have to have done well, because you can't really start off with a pistol in a fucking survival game.
Yeah, you do, but I think that might be because of the beta. Because the only mode that they have is like the base defense mode, where there's like waves of enemies that come in and you need to kill them before they get to your mining thingy.
Is it like how long is a game, or is it just persistent?
It's like 20 minutes. It's all
okay.
Like it looks like they might have a persistent mode. They when you open it up, it says we've only got this one mode. It's the defense mode. Please enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like from what I read, and granted, like it's always hard to get a clear answer out of Konami, but from what I remember reading, it seems like there is like the main mode is just like something like a quasi single player or like team, like survival. I'm not gonna say Minecraft, but something persistent.
I could see it. Like the game cycle of the mode that they have is like you pop in. It says you've got like 15 minutes or something before the first wave starts. You go around like a pretty decently sized map, collecting like metal and plastic and rubber and shit like that. Then you come back, you build some walls. You can actually pre-build stuff, which I found out is better than trying to build stuff in game, because you have all of your like stored resources before the game. There's like this cool like white room pre-game loading area that you can just fuck around with unlimited resources.
So are there microtransactions?
It looks like there's probably going to be some, maybe.
Konami released a statement earlier today saying that any kind of microtransactions they have will only be for cosmetic accessories.
That's cool.
And I remember reading something about them not going to be doing for pay loot crates, but I don't remember if it was clear or not. So like it might just be for pay for accessories that are cosmetics, but
the system is there that they could easily do loot crates, because after you beat a mission, you literally cardboard boxes fall from the sky, you open them and shit comes out of it, and then it gets added to your like go back to your main area and collect all this junk. So the systems are in place that they could probably easily do microtransactions. But yeah, if they made it so that you could just buy, because like their main resource, which is like I can't remember what it was. It was like the energy that comes from the zombies that you steal. You use that to level up. So,
Energon.
I think it was like leptin or something stupid. I don't know. But it was if they made it so that you could just unlock that and level up, then their whole leveling scale system would be kind of broken, I would see.
I know next to nothing about this game really. So like, how many players in one game?
Play with 4,
Okay.
and it looks like in the main game you can just hang out with your crew, so it's not like Destiny where after each map you get kicked out.
What's the over/under on them pivoting and adding a battle royale mode to
I was
this?
thinking the exact same thing.
You know what?
Yeah.
As bad as that idea is, and that every fucking game company is doing that, if
Mhm.
there was any engine that was going to do some sort of ridiculous 100-person battle royale, I would want it to be the Metal Gear 5 engine.
engine.
I
yeah.
could see it. Because they're like, I could imagine you collecting resources and building your weapons and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Problem is, I don't want like a crafting mode in my Metal Gear battle royale. I want it to be like what a Battleground is now, only with a way better engine.
Yeah, I could see that. But I don't know. It was pretty fun. There were some really neat things. I noticed that if you go to your mining station, there's like support things that you can buy using your Klepton or whatever the fuck the energy was. And one of them was that it teleports in Ray, and he just laser beams a bunch of enemies that are walking towards you.
Does it make the noise?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Good game. 10 out of 10. Good game.
I also like the implication that they modeled Ray into MGS5. That's fucking great. And like that just makes me really inspired for like fan servicey shit that they could add to this game, and I'm really excited.
I don't know. Did you see that Star Wars movie?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it, Dave.
Yeah, we already
We did that.
did it.
You weren't there. You didn't get to talk.
I don't want to do that again.
And there's a character creation mode. The character creation mode from MGS5 is in it, so it's useful now.
Yeah, it makes more sense in this kind of a game because, like, I know you guys were kind of more into making your own characters for MGS5. I didn't really see any other reason other than to play as Snake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think when I first played MGS5,
he's on the cover of the game.
Yeah.
The game, you know, he's named, the game's named for him, kind of.
I think I tried to make my character look as much like Snake as possible because I didn't understand what they were making me do.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want to play as Snake. I'm going to make him
Yeah.
look like Snake.
Are you
Almost like
saying
Metal-
that you're not playing as Snake?
Oh.
It's almost like Metal Gear games are stupid.
Oh, yeah. I realized that a few months ago I had bought a Metal Gear poster as like a reward tier for the marathon and then completely forgot. And I put it up on my wall. And I was playing Survive, and then I went into my room to get changed or something, and I looked at the poster, and it's from MGS1. And I was like, you're not the same. These aren't even the same anymore.
They're not even the same.
How times make fools of us all.
Yeah. So it's not Metal Gear, but it's a fun game, I think. And like, I'm probably going to go in with as wide-eyed as I was with Destiny 2, so I might be disappointed again.
Whatever. It's a relatively cheap game. It's selling like a $40 price range.
Yeah.
Is already okay, and it seems like a cool game to play with the bros, which we don't really have all that many of those right now.
None of you guys want to play Monster Hunter.
No.
What about Civilization 4?
That's a proven game. We know it's
a
good.
proven game that you can play with your bros.
But you try to fight, you try to beat me. I want a game where we can play together.
I didn't say that I would do it. I'm just saying that
Hey Matt, I'll get into the Civ 4 team play if you play.
By email.
All right, well,
By
it was
email.
nice knowing
Matt,
all of you.
Oh,
Matt,
no.
I'll get in, I'll play. I'll get my ass kicked time and time again. Matt, but you have to play too.
oh no, maybe,
Do it, you coward. Come on.
maybe.
Face my Cossacks.
oh, the Cossacks are so OP. Oh man, they're so good. Oh. And if you like beeline to military science to get them,
Mm-hmm.
is it military science or military tradition?
Another science, I think you're
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Like you'd be so far ahead of everyone unless you're playing on such a high level. You would just roll over everyone. It's like an early game blitzkrieg.
I didn't want to invade Persia, but they were asking for it. I was building my
Exactly.
military. They were defenseless. They had longbowmen. I just fucking, it was there for the taking.
You gotta
Listen-
roll them up. Just roll them up.
That's why that game is good. There is no better feeling than running over bowmen with your M1 Abrams tank. You just fucking Flight of the Valkyries is playing in your head. It's the greatest feeling.
Listen, I'm not going to say that they made Glaive more viable than it usually was, but now in Monster Hunter World, you don't have to touch the ground ever
Wow.
because you can just keep hitting the monster and pole vaulting off of it and keep swinging, and
That's
you're
pretty
good to
cool.
go.
I like Final Fantasy IV.
Or you can use the hammer, which is now just hit it. It's just a hit weapon. It's just all hit. Just many hits.
That's probably the thing I liked most, having played that short demo, was like really big weapons and swinging them. That felt good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many different, like, that game has different ways of playing it to more than I've seen like Dark Souls do.
Really?
Yeah, like I've never seen a Dark Souls game where like you can stand back and play music to support your friends, or be in the middle and be in the middle and swing a giant axe, and then also be flying in the air shooting bugs at things.
Well, I mean, because Dark Souls, regardless of the interesting interactive multiplayer aspects that's got going on, is still more or less sort of like a single player driven game. Like you're going in a path or an area to eventually do something, to eventually get to, I don't know, that tree and fucking kill it, or whatever the point of Dark Souls is. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, the goal of Dark Souls is to get to the monster you have to kill.
It's to kill that tree. Yeah. In Monster Hunter, in Monster Hunter, it seems a bit more open. Like, is there there a driven path? Like, is it just to kill a Rathalos or whatever the hell it is? Or like, is there like, it's kind of sprawling and open. It's like, well, today I got to go hunt this fucking animal. Tomorrow I'm going to go and fucking hunt that animal.
Yeah. I mean, there's like they put every monster in. They've been making this game for like 20 years, and now they've just put all of their monsters in it.
But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, there's no, and I mean, there's no point to anything in any video game, but there's no point to it in Monster Hunter. Like, it's not a story-driven thing.
It's to get armor.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to lie to you and say that the game's not a grind. The game's a grind. Your goal is always to get better armor than you're currently wearing.
But it's a sweet, sweet grind.
Yeah, it's a sweet grind.
Mm-hmm.
For Matt to wait until I'm sleeping and to skin me and wear me like a suit.
Yeah.
Say what? I'm a big gay stupid ass. I'm Norris.
Yeah, but like
it's like an
so
inverse
wasteful.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, it's like so wasteful because I just do it once to go, like, I'm bored now.
yeah, exactly.
Put it in the closet, get a new skin.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of Monster Hunter. They also released that fucking like special edition black and red beautiful PS4 Pro that I'm like still kind of tempted to see if Bill would casually walk into a GameStop for me.
Nobody needs a PS4 Pro. I'm pretty much convinced at this point.
If you have 4K TV, maybe. If you have a 4K TV and you're one of the idle rich, yeah, sure, buy that shit. Otherwise, what are you doing?
I mean, I have a girlfriend that plays PS4, and sometimes we run into the situation where we both want to play PS4, so I need a second one.
I run into the situation too. It's why I installed Civ 4 on my computer.
Hell yeah.
But I'm playing Monster Hunter, so what's Char gonna do? She can go play Sims for a little bit, but she wants to play that PS4 too. What if I get her into Monster Hunter?
This isn't gonna
then
work.
None of us go anywhere.
This isn't gonna work.
Moving with my parents, don't have to pay rent.
Why don't you guys play tennis or something? You can do that together.
You can only do that like 6 months out of the year.
You can't play tennis in Vancouver. It rains, David.
Okay.
Yeah, idiot.
I'm just trying to provide an idea. We got anything else on the docket?
No, it's painfully obvious we had nothing to start with and we have nothing to finish with.
Can I get you guys' thoughts?
Oh man.
Oh wait, what do you got? Something
No,
good?
I poked down and looked on my Twitter, and someone
Hit me with it.
They're making fake Coachella posters with AI and generating a bunch of band names.
Give me. Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm okay with
that's
this.
better than what I was gonna say. Go on.
Fanch, Hoop of Goom, Lab Raid, Jacked Like a Man, Giraffics, Ben Sex. There's so many of these. Hissing in the Sweet, Bistopia, Slaw Bomb, Bing the Bung, Ow, House of the Gavins, Big Sting, headlining next day, One of Pig, Horse Choir, Beth Factory, Glot Thongs, Smushy Twin, Back One.
Stop. No more.
Okay, I would go like House of the Gavins. That's like the best
So
idea
good.
in my head. Just like
Horse Choir. Come on.
Headlining the last day, Little Hack, Malfi Boys, Beach Field, Paper Cop, Bonio, The Bootleg Tims, Hoon, McMuch, Here Comes the Death, Mike Gunk, Billions of Marios, Mind Lass, Skin Clump. There's like a million more of these, but
Billions of Marios.
But you get it.
Oh.
that's pretty good.
Joey Brett.
I do like
fuck, Joey Bread went solo.
Yeah.
I do like Little Hack because you could literally name some artist young, not a rapper, and people will be like, "This is the dopest shit ever."
Yeah. He's like 13.
Yeah.
And all he does is drink lean.
What kind of music do you think Paper Cop plays?
Probably like extreme harsh noise.
Yeah. For cough, I like that.
Oh, that's a good thing to end on, I suppose.
Give me a couple more. I'm jonesing.
Okay.
Give me 2 more. The most I can handle right now.
I'm
I'm gonna give the outro and you figure that one out over there. You do your science.
I'm just gonna keep on talking. I think it's better to just get them in a list.
Can I do? All right, fine.
Yeah,
just
do
go.
an outro and then I'll just like list them off and
This
you
has
can
been
trail
Super
away.
Hopped Up, your band generating computer device. I'm Chris Norris-Jones. We're on iTunes and Stitcher, where podcasts are held. We have a Facebook group. Come find us. We have a Twitter at Super Hopped Up. We have an email, superhoppedup@gmail.com. We have a YouTube channel. Look up Super Hopped Up. Right, Kelly?
Yeah, once we get 100 subscriptions, we can get that sweet, sweet vanity plate.
Hell yeah. We have a Discord.
We do. I think the best way to do it, I'm just going to post it on our Facebook, so go investigate there.
So go find our private Facebook.
Come join the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, go join the public Facebook.
No, I'm going to post it on that. It's going to be live on that Facebook.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
everyone sees.
That's the good one.
It's also in a tiny little button on our channel page on YouTube. I don't think you can do vanity invites for Discord. You can find it. You guys will find it. I trust you. So go there because we're going to build a community and you can talk to us and we're all really lonely and talk on there and people hang out and play games together and recommend music and stuff.
You can interact with content creators.
Yeah, directly with your favorite content creators.
Special shout outs to Pizza Pants for putting it all together.
Oh, yeah.
Shout outs
My
to
boy.
the Hopped Up Gaming East boys, to Will Alice and all those guys as well. So
You should listen to them, actually. They're pretty good. They're probably better than we are. They actually probably like plan things. They know what they're doing. They generally have a topic.
they remember what beers they've had before.
They
which is
remember the
pretty good.
beers they've had before. Did we have this beer before?
We have had this beer before, or
Have
I've
we?
had it personally. Maybe that it's hard to say, man. Our personal lives and our public front, they run together so often.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Matt, hit me with that dope rhyme.
Automute, Dutchinger, Halfway Starch, Cedar Gut, Mega Bathman, Other Facts, Boob Met, Food Toid,
Peace out, guys. Keep going, Matt.
Drips, Slup, Carnal Dogs,
See you later,
Booty
boys.
Quacks,
Love your mother.
Vampus,
Keep going. This is I'm gonna fade out. Keep going. Keep going.
Throw Art, Gunk the Arm, Food Stop, Bustle Nuxin, Dino Tot, Mickey Lice, Hoi Hoi, Donut. Deaf Loud, Missy Dish Shite, Cobb, The Original Motion Picture, Musaic, Deep Harris, Mantham Spawns, Nam Troop, Screepy Boys, Goof Alibi, Man Ass, Mark Sound, Chesty Squitters, Glove.
Wait, how's Matt ass spelled? Just like all capitals?
No, it's more like mayonnaise, but man ass is funnier. Steve Goodwood, Bonky Gorman, Project Mayor, Gigistain, Gentle Charlie, M. Horsey, For All Wilson, Nate Yourself,